Now, love is the most powerful force and also the most powerful emotion you will ever experience. Could you agree with that, do you think? You think about how when you fall in love, what happens to the rest of your life. It sort of pales into insignificance, doesn't it, in comparison to that love. So love is the most powerful force and the most powerful emotion you'll ever experience. Now, God created it that way, of course. In the creation of love being the most powerful force, there are actual laws involved around love. Like love operates under certain conditions, and therefore there are certain principles involved with love that operate. And God created the law of attraction only for a loving purpose. And this is the loving purpose. It is God's messenger of truth to you. So this law of attraction, even if you had no other person to talk to in the universe, God would be able to talk to you through this law by showing you what your condition is at any point in time through what you attract. So it's actually God's messenger of truth to you personally. What is happening to you right now, individually and collectively, is all a part of this messenger of truth, what God is trying to tell us about the truth of God's universe. Now, the truth of God's universe is that it is always love. So just put love up there again. Right? So everything that God is trying to tell us always has a message, an underlying core to every message is about love. Right? Every single thing God's trying to let you know about is about love. And the way God uses this law of attraction, or created it to be used, is this. It is what I would classify as a feedback system. Do you know what I mean by a feedback system? Yep. It tells you exactly what's going on in any moment. But it's a feedback system for the soul, not for your mind and not for what you would like to have happen to you, but it's a feedback system for what is actually inside of you, your soul condition. So it's a very truthful feedback system in comparison to many of the other feedback systems. So, for example, if I was a drug user and I had some mates with me, some friends with me, and they were all drug users, and we all decided that we were run out of drugs, so it's great to go down and rob a store and so we can get some money to buy some more drugs. And the feedback system of my mates or my friends would be, yes, let's do it. Is that not right? Because we're all in agreement that we all need some more drugs to get our fix. And in fact, most of society is like those drug addicts in a way. We have our fixes or our addictions that we would like to have met, and so our entire society getting created around meeting the addictions we have, right? And we're all in agreement with it because we all would love to have our addictions met, and so we automatically embrace that kind of society. But the feedback system that God's created is telling us already that the way we've constructed our society is not in harmony with love, because there's so much pain that happens as a result of what happens in society. So it's automatically feeding back to us that something's wrong, something's not right with the way we're doing things. So it's a feedback system for the soul, but it's also a feedback system for collective souls. So it's not just a feedback system for my soul, but it's a feedback system for all of our souls, whether we're aware of it or not. So God's created this beautiful feedback system based around love that's trying to tell us the truth of every single thing that happens to us. And basically what he's trying to tell us is that's out of harmony with love, that's in harmony with love, that's out of harmony with love, and so forth. It's a way of measuring what's in and out of harmony with love. Yeah. Now, if we see the law of attraction as that, can you see we're going to enjoy it rather than fight it? See, what happens for many people once they learn about this law, they go, why is this damn law of attraction bringing me this thing? Whatever the event is. Instead of going, it's beautiful this law of attraction has brought me this thing. All of God's laws are loving. Everything we attract is loving in the sense, and I don't mean that everything that happens to us is loving, I mean everything we attract is loving in one sense, and that is that we have the opportunity to learn about love through whatever we've just attracted. There's a message system going on here. So if we refuse to connect to God, which we're allowed to do if we want to, like God's not saying, you have to connect to me and if you don't, I'll strike you dead. Now, a lot of religions would like to have that as an idea, but it's not true. How many of you have sworn at God and still not be struck dead? So if that's the case, then that probably is proof that God's not going to strike you dead no matter what you do, right? And there's plenty of people that do very, very negative things and they never get struck dead. So that tells me that God doesn't strike people dead for a start. Secondly, we need to understand that the law of attraction is the messenger that God has to allow us to exercise this other gift of love that we have, which is, remember I wrote it before, this gift of free will. So this is a loving gift God gave us, and God's basically saying to us, look, if you use your free will in a loving and truthful direction, then you'll find the law of attraction that I've made will operate beautifully for you all the time. But when you use your free will in a very negative direction, in an unloving and fear-based direction, then you'll find my law of attraction will be the messenger of truth to you, telling you that actually something's wrong, something's going on. Now, this applies to absolutely everything that can happen to you, even every disease that happens to you, every illness that happens to you, everything that happens to your body, every wart you have on your skin, every injury you get when you're chopping up the vegetables or something and you get an injury. That's an event telling you something that's happening in your soul. The key is just how do we go about discovering what it is. That's the key. But it is God's messenger of truth every single event that happens. Every single event.